They are making a big robot.
That's my job. Mari Crombo Weebs. My name is Cole. His name is Mikey. His name is Jay White. Like anime. And this is episode 111 of the Anime Protagonist Podcast. On this week's episode, we are reviewing the anime that you've all been waiting for.
Have they?
Yeah, what was it? Bakuno. I mean, not Bakuno.
Yes.
Toilet
Bound Hanako-kun.
Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. So we will be reviewing that today on the episode of the Anime Protagonist Podcast. But before we get into that, I think we're gonna just
live from AniPro Studios, the news.
Say hello to an old friend.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Let's see here in the newsroom.
Yeah, it's I forgot how long this
I need
clip
like a stack
goes.
of paper to like
tap
down on the desk. Yeah.
I'm sure
Well, do you guys enjoy Pokemon?
I
sometimes I dabble.
Yeah. Have you guys ever watched Pokemon?
Yes.
Not in years.
You guys like recently made fun of me because I have all of the Pokemon movies in my AniList. Yeah,
I think I have
and they're all like
a couple of
rated
them.
like 5 out of 10, except for a couple. I don't know if I deserve that drop.
I mean,
Cole's feeling the drops today. I like it.
yeah, I mean the soundboard's working. I don't know. Maybe it's my new internet. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Pokemon TV, the famous and popular medium of watching Pokemon, is sadly coming to an end, boys. Rest in peace, Pokemon TV. As of January 8th, you can no longer download the app on any of your devices. And as of March 28th, 2024, the service will cease operations. And you will have to watch Pokemon the old-fashioned way.
On TV.
How?
Illegally. I mean, what?
Yep.
No, never.
So
I'm suspecting I'm hoping and I'm guessing that this basically means that Pokemon's going to come to Crunchyroll and Netflix more so. It kind of already was on Netflix, but
yeah, it's been on Netflix for a while. I don't know, like who owns Pokemon in terms of like the broadcasting rights? Like, is it Nintendo? Is it the Pokemon Company?
Probably the Pokemon Company International,
Company,
if I had to guess.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, yeah, they've got Pokemon TV, but then like the other series are kind of just dispersed randomly over multiple.
Yeah, like I think Netflix has a couple, Hulu has a couple,
Amazon has a bunch.
Amazon
too.
has a couple.
Yeah, it's strange.
Like you kind of have to like, if you want to watch Pokemon from beginning and catch up, you got to jump around everywhere. It's not just like one place.
Yeah.
It's very
and first of all, good luck with that, because it's like, do you think One Piece is long? Pokemon is also quite long.
I was reading this story. This story is coming from Games Radar. I believe they're a UK company. I don't know, but it's saying that Pokemon Horizons, like the most recent Pokemon series, has been on BBC, which must be like children's BBC in the UK since December, but it hasn't been released in the US until February. So good on you, UK mates. Put shrimp on your Barbie because you guys got it first. Crikey.
I don't know if that's how that. I haven't thinking of the wrong.
I haven't heard anything about Pokemon Horizon. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really care. About Horizons.
Well, I mean, not that I don't care. I've just I haven't heard anything. That can be either very good or very bad.
Yeah. I sound very negative when I say I don't care, but like after Ash left Pokemon, which breaking news, beep beep beep, Ash left Pokemon. I don't know if you dabble if you knew that. But yeah.
Well, they're loyal listeners to the podcast. I think we talked about it on here. Yeah.
I dabble in anime news.
But yeah, he ever since then, I just kind of stopped caring because it's not the same. It's not the same, man.
I miss the old days with Ash Ketchum
from like 6 years ago.
I kind of go to the other side of this. I think I'm more interested now that Ash is gone because I want to see what these new people are all about. I want to see some new stories. Like I recently watched Pokemon Paldean Winds that just came out. It's just a 4-part miniseries done by Studio Wit, and it's like it just kind of just centers on these 3 characters, and it just tells a little story with each of them, and it's really nice. It's a nice little story. I like it, and whereas it's not held back by having to feature Ash in every episode. And have him go on this one adventure to be a master, you know, like there could be other things going on.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I don't care either way. I haven't watched Pokemon I haven't watched Pokemon in a long time.
Yeah, I stopped watching around the time the Black and White series started. And
that's a while ago.
Yeah.
That's quite a ways ago.
The most Pokemon I've watched in recent memory was when Sun and Moon. What's the Sun and Moon anime called again?
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon.
Oh, Sun and Moon. Okay. I remember watching that at Mike's place because we liked the opening. It's kind of
cool. It was like different. It was like Pokemon Slice of Life with like lots of like anime references and stuff. But I know Jay like hates Sun and Moon with like every fiber of his being.
I hate the games. I've heard the anime's fine. Like animation wise, it's good.
It's really good for a while, and then after a while, kind of like it's just as like it's hard to keep going because it's just a slice of life. And after like 100 episodes, you're kind of like,
yeah. I mean, I did tune in because of the big spoiler warning, I guess, for Pokemon. That was like all over the news when it happened. I watched
when
Ash won.
Completed his destiny.
Yeah, when he won. I watched that because like I felt like I had to. Because it was like
I still haven't watched it actually.
It's like on.
I feel like we made you watch it on just like the YouTube clip.
Yeah, but it didn't hit the same because like I know the song that they used.
Dubbed. Yeah,
it wasn't dubbed, and they reused like the OG Pokemon theme.
Oh, that's
from what
when he fought Leon. I'm talking about when he won in Sun and Moon.
Is that not the same thing?
No, he beat Leon.
No, he won twice, sort of.
Yeah.
What? So what was the big deal when he won the second time then?
No, the Sun and Moon was the first time he ever beat a champion. And then the one that happened most recently is he became like the champion.
When he like kind of became a Pokemon master.
Oh,
yeah, he beat Leon.
So Ash has sucked for like a decade.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's only been training for like less than a year, right?
Sure.
He's been Pokemon trainer for like, he's only 10, you know, Cole.
Yeah, he's only 10.
That's for now until he makes his grizzled return in the most recent Pokemon series.
Yeah, haggard old veteran.
Cigar somehow in his mouth. He got every one of the gym badges in every region and conquered every Pokemon, or like fought in every Pokemon League. And all that took less than 1 year because the continuity of him catching every Pokemon is still there.
Yeah. Like right before he beat the league in Alola in Sun and Moon, there was a flashback episode where it shows all of he goes to Kanto and sees all his Pokemon from over the year.
How many episodes are there of Pokemon with Ash Ketchum in it?
It's got to be similar to One Piece because it's been going for about the same amount of time.
I think it's like 1,200 or something like that.
Oh, darn. So it'd be like 300 and something. Then you could say each episode is just a day in the life. But if there's 1,200, that doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe
especially each one they
sense.
travel like distances that are great as well.
Yeah. Great distances. What if a whole episode was just like Ash just like on a plane? Just like reading or something.
Like this one episode, like that episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they try to drink as many beers as they can while on a flight. And the whole episode's just on a plane.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Ash tries to drink as many beers as he can on
That'd
a plane.
Be a sweet episode of Pokemon.
Underage drinking. I don't know if Nintendo and the Pokemon Company want to promote that.
Can you be Is he? I think he's of legal drinking age because like what 20 something years have passed since.
Yeah, but he's 10.
he started
Yeah.
drinking?
No, I mean
But he's
Ash
10.
is like Ash would be like my age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he'd be
Ash,
like,
you know what? Ash is like the eternally old lolly. Like, you know, in ReZero, what's her name?
Beatrice.
Beatrice. Yeah. He's like Beatrice. He's just like actually just a lolly that's actually super old.
Mhm.
He's that anime trope.
He's a Shota.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But like an
Yeah.
old Shota. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, do you have Pokemon news?
I do. And weirdly, we all picked Pokemon news, I think, and mine revolves around the tragic tale of the Pokemon Van Gogh saga.
Oh,
You guys
Van
know
Gogh.
this little artiste known as Vincent Van Gogh?
No, but it sounds like you're trying to spit up something when
Van
you're
Gogh?
talking.
I'll just pronounce it Van Gogh from now on. just
Sure,
to
yeah.
save the
He's the
listeners'
guy
ears.
who cut his ear off, right?
Yeah, as like a sign of love. I think he gave it as a gift, didn't he? I don't know what I'm talking about.
You know what though? I again, this is another Wendigoon drop from Cole. My current obsession. There was a whole thing about Van Gogh and how he, like, there's this theory that he didn't cut his own ear off. Somebody else cut it off, but he was just such a nice guy. He didn't want like the other person to get in trouble, so he made up the whole story about him like giving it to somebody.
That actually makes so much more sense.
Van Gogh is like the most tragic person in the world. He got shot and died, and to his death he said, no, I accidentally shot myself, but there's so much evidence out there that somebody else shot him. He just refused to like throw somebody under the bus. Good guy,
really?
Van Gogh. But also like somebody killed you, man. Like maybe.
Didn't he also like no one ever appreciated his art? He's one of those artists that no one appreciated his artwork like during his lifetime too.
Yeah, that's the other
Yeah.
thing.
It's pretty sad.
Tragic
Yeah.
guy. But we're talking about Pokemon.
You know what else is
Van
sad?
Gogh.
That Pokemon and Van Gogh collaborated. Sweet collab, right? Had like Pokemon like themed prints at the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam and stuff.
Mhm.
And then the Pokemon Company made one fatal error with this.
Uh-oh.
They said that if you show up to this Van Gogh exhibit with Pokemon involved, you will get an exclusive card that can only be obtained by going to this exhibit. It's a card that has Pikachu and a little like, you know, Vincent Van Gogh's little hat that he wears in all his pictures.
Like a fedora
little-
type hat.
Little gray fedora type fuzzy hat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
what
so
you're
they-
talking
You know,
about.
milady.
Yeah, milady. Mm-hmm. And they gave out this like
Yeah,
specific
milady.
card only there. And well, you can predict the rest because the exhibit became such a chaotic event that they had to like stop giving out the card and shut the whole thing down because like all the people were just it was just packed floor to ceiling with people just crawling over each other to get this like Pokemon card.
They're like, are you here to see Van Gogh's art? And they're like, who?
Who? What?
Who
Yeah.
is this Van Gogh you
Yeah, I just
speak
want
of?
the card, man.
Give me
Yeah,
the flipping card. And
Where's
let me
my
go.
card?
I mean, that
Where's
checks
my-
out. Pokemon
Where's my exclusive milady Pikachu card?
Pokemon card
It was-
craze is nuts. It has
Everywhere.
been ever since the pandemic started, and it's
Been pretty
still
nuts since
ridiculous.
like 1997, to be honest with you.
Yeah, to be honest. There's a reason it's the biggest franchise ever.
Yeah. But the museum basically said like, this is not safe. We cannot have this Pokemon card here. And they had to stop it. And then they say they're going to distribute it on like the website eventually at a later time. But it's just like kind of, I thought this was a funny story that like, oh, cool. They're doing this sweet collab with like a really artsy take because Pokemon realizes like most of their fans now are either children or
Mhm.
like 30. They're like could be anywhere in between, right?
Or both, like us.
Yeah.
30-year-old children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Pokemon card craze just ruined it. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Jay.
Yeah, Jay. Tell me about your Pokemon theme story.
I don't have one.
Yeah,
You
there
know
was no
what?
Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't have one, but I have something related to Netflix
Oh.
and streaming and long-running shows.
Well,
Mhm.
that's almost Pokemon.
That's almost Pokemon.
That's pretty close to Pokemon. Is it like super cartoony too?
It
the
is
show?
actually. It's related to a show that Cole actually mentioned earlier on in our Pokemon discussion.
Oh, did I?
One Piece. His favorite show of all time. So Netflix put the Netflix anime Twitter put out a little bulletin announcing that starting January 13th, the Egg Island arc, or the Egghead Island arc.
Egghead Island, yeah.
The Egghead arc is how they call it, will be coming to Netflix for a simulcast, which like is a little weird, not just because like this has been a Crunchyroll thing for years, but like Netflix doesn't have all of One Piece yet.
That's the part that weirded me out, is they have like, I think up to Dressrosa, maybe like right around there.
Yeah.
And just for some reason they're like, guess what? We're just going to skip like 300 episodes and start back up with the Egghead arc. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're just going to ignore the fact that they made a whole One Piece arc about me. Egghead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess they did.
Ha 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 ha. Okay, I'll see myself.
No.
Go ahead. Leave again.
No. Come back.
Oh, he left because we were talking about One Piece. I was wondering if there was something going on over there. I got it.
I mean, I
get it now.
What am I going to contribute here? A stupid joke about my Egghead?
You know what, Cole? Actually, it's interesting that you say that, because I have been hearing people say, including Oda, actually,
Cole's got an egghead.
Cole's got a giant egghead, and it's just full to the brim with yolks. No,
yeah, that's where he got his inspiration for what's his name?
Eggman.
The one guy. I forget his name.
Luffy?
No, Vegapunk. That's what it was.
Viggo Mortensen?
Vegapunk. He got his design from Cole. He saw Cole and he was like, damn.
Anyway, Oda and like some people online have been saying that like actually starting One Piece with the Egghead arc is actually like not a bad move.
That's the canonical place to start. All of you people who have been watching One Piece up to this point, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. Oda, your god, your savior, your messiah has come out and he said, all of you people who have been watching up to this point, you're fools. You're the lost. I am the found. I'm going to start One Piece at the Egghead arc.
In the final arc of the final saga of the series. Start watching. But it kind of is a little piece of like a larger whole, because it's kind of showing how much Netflix is buying into One Piece and going like, this is making us money. We need more of it. Like, I mean, we've got the second season of the live action on its way. We've got this coming. We've got the remake.
I'm excited for the remake. Shut up, Jay.
I refuse to acknowledge the existence of the live action One Piece. I refuse.
Because it's really good.
I swear to you, the whole world is gaslighting me into like making me think that I'm wrong about the One Piece anime.
Cool, you haven't even watched it.
I know.
Cole, the whole world does not care enough to gaslight you on the One Piece live action.
It's gaslighting me, the progenitor of this podcast.
Yeah. So Cole's truly becoming a Himidare here.
Go check out, go become a patron and check out why we're talking about Cole becoming a Himidare.
Yes, exactly. Patreon.com/AniProPod. But yes.
Join our Discord too.
And join the Discord too. But no, I'm excited for this. It's cool. It shows that One Piece is selling, and there is we're in peak times, man. Like peak times as a One Piece fan right now. I'm just about to wrap up Wano, and like, man, the animation has never been better. Yeah. There's never been more love and care put into One Piece than there is now. And I know you're negative on the Wit Studio remake of the original One Piece arc, but I think it'll be a great way to get people into the series without the super datedness of it, even though I do like the old school animation and stuff, but it'll be a good way to get new people in who are scared of that or turned off by it. Or the kind of like slow pacing of the show in general.
There's another reason why I'm not super enthusiastic about it.
Do share.
So there's been a lot of speculation online.
I'll get the boo. There's
been a lot of
ready.
speculation online about like one thing that's been said about the remake, just like about the wording, and I don't remember the wording exactly, but it's led people to believe that the animation is all going to be made through AI. And like,
okay, hold on,
What does he type it over there?
I found the wording.
Okay.
It says, "We are Wit Studio and we are going to make this show even worse than it already is." That's bold of them to say that. Thoughts?
Yeah, that's honestly very bold of them to say that they're going to make it even worse. But the reason
why would they use AI?
Why would they do that? And especially when like the teaser they showed for it is like clearly drawn. It's like colored in with crayon, like to show.
I think they were like saying like we're going to be using cutting edge technology to be making this show or something like that. Which led people to believe that it's AI. And like Wit's also dabbled in AI anime before.
I believe that AI is already in most anime we watch, to be honest with you. Just because like you can use it,
everything.
Yeah, it's in everything nowadays. Like you can use it to like color stuff in, or to like there's just many ways that you can't even really think about that it would be involved.
Let me just tell the listeners this. Don't look at the hands in anime, because then you'll realize how much AI there is. When you go to Rule 34, don't look at the hands. Then you'll know all that smut that you're looking at. It's all AI. You filthy, filthy animal.
I'm so lost now.
How did this go to Rule 34?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm in a kooky mood, okay?
Cole's in a weird mood today. I don't know.
Listen, hey, it's showtime, baby. Let's go.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, it could be good, but my expectations are rather low.
It's a good place to be, though. That means that if your expectations are low, you won't be disappointed, right?
That's true. Mike's onto something.
Yeah.
I'm onto something as well. Did you guys hear the big news?
Which one?
Did you guys hear that the boy... Yes. Did you guys hear that The Boy and the Heron won the Golden Globe for the best animated feature this year?
I did hear that.
Isn't that impressive? It was the first time they've ever won a Golden Globe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the cool thing too is like it's kind of crazy that it actually beat out Spider-Man, because I remember when we looked at like the list of like basically people who could have won that award, it was kind of like it's a fierce market, and for Boy and the Heron to win, I do get the feeling a little bit that it's kind of like one of those lifetime achievement type awards, you know what I mean? Where like maybe he didn't win it for other stuff, but he wins it for this one partially because of all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And it might be the last one they could give to him.
I didn't realize people have been like Miyazaki has been saying this is going to be his last movie since like Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
And he's released like 4 movies since then.
Yeah.
Yes. That's kind of what he does.
Just par for the course.
Yeah. Apparently, I think he's already working on the next one too. So
I feel like this just feels like a swan song, you know? Like it just feels like this is it. Yeah. But I think this has got to make Boy and the Heron the favorite for the Academy Award this year. Don't you think?
It could.
I mean, now the Academy of Motion Picture, whatever. Academy, yeah, whatever. They like now they see this and they're like, okay, this is a real movie. You know, our little brothers, the Golden Globes, have given them the award. Now we won't feel so bad if we vote for this cartoon from Japan.
I mean, it has like, yeah, it is like animated and produced in Japan, but a lot of the actors in it are like actually big name Hollywood actors. Like you got Christian Bale, you've got Robert Pattinson, I think, is in it. You've got Dave Bautista, who is breaking out as a Hollywood guy. Famously used to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you look at it from that angle, like, how does it really differ from something like Spider-Verse, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Cole always
But-
brings up this, like, that the American movie industry looks down on anime, and I don't know if that's true anymore.
Well, okay, sure, but I mean, there's good anime movies that come out every year, and there hasn't been one that's won since Spirited Away.
Yes.
So I mean, there's a track record. I'm not just speaking out of my butt. I think
at the same time, I think Miyazaki's just kind of more endearing to the
he's
Academy
well known.
than he's the guy that's known. Whereas something like Your Name, which people think was snubbed when it was big, nobody knew who Makoto Shinkai was.
Yeah.
Well, Suzume was nominated for this one too. Let's be real here, and it's all. I think it's also nominated for the Academy Award too. So we'll see.
I think we're getting to the point where what Mike is saying is true, but
yeah,
I think
that's what I really meant to say.
Yeah, I think up until now, I think Hollywood has kind of been looking down its nose at these anime movies.
I think like the Academy in general just kind of looks down at anime or animated
movies. Yeah,
I think it's important to remember that it's like 80 to 90-year-old men voting on this stuff.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, I think it's just a ton of out of touch people who don't really understand the art or the artistry of.
Yeah. I mean, who could forget the Academy Award nominated film, the Academy Award nominated masterpiece, Boss Baby? Who could forget that?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought I thought it was a good omen that Boy in the Heron won the Golden Globe.
We're definitely in peak anime times for sure.
I mean, like, people always called that award, at least in the Oscars, they always call it like the Disney Award because they were like, well, Disney's always a shoo-in.
Yeah, the Pixar Award,
right? Or the Pixar
and then Disney
Award
kind of just
Disney
stopped
Award.
making good animated movies. Weirdly,
stop making good movies.
Yeah. Well, allegedly, Pixar is now laying off like a ton of their staff because
there's a lot of layoffs everywhere.
Yeah.
It's bad time.
Mike, you've got a story for us related to everyone's favorite giant robot series.
Listen, I talked about Pokemon, and I want to talk about one of the other biggest franchises in the world, Gundam. So in June 2021, Bandai Namco announced their sustainability project called Gundam Universal Century Development Action. Do you have any Thank you. Do you guys have any guesses what that title means?
It means that they're going to start making their own Gundams, like for reals.
For realsies. They're gonna make giant robots, and they're gonna make them fight and kiss. Of course.
You're almost right.
Okay.
So it's initially a project. It's basically like they said, we want to make Gundam real. We want to bring it to the real world. And it's now begun. They've launched 4 separate teams. Like basically this last 2 years have been planning, and now they're ready to start going. They got their teams and they got their goals set in mind. So there's 4 teams. I'll read out the 4 teams to you.
Okay. Do them slowly though.
Yeah. I'm going to read out the first one,
like
and then we'll discuss
PlayStation Prices
and guess.
style.
PS5
Prices style. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the first project. Team Space Life. What do you guys think Team Space Life is?
Well, I mean, obviously, we're going to start the Spacenoid race. We're going to send people up into space and make big colonies, and the Spacenoids will come and rule over us Earthnoids. Okay.
Jay, do you agree, or do you think this is something else?
As the guy who hasn't seen any Gundam show,
that's true. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that they're making Big Zam, and they're gonna make
just Big Zam.
I hope Jay's right.
I hope that'd be funny. According to Team Space Life's project homepage, the team will focus on creating a living space, controlling a comfortable environment, and sustainable resource circulation. They appear to be researching space colonies and adapting new medical technologies for humans to survive in those spaces. So Cole was pretty much right.
It's pretty much right.
They're looking into make it how we can live in colonies, basically, in space. Yeah. Okay. Project number 2. Prototyping of a new pilot robot for social implementation of mobile suits.
What a pithy name. Oh, the soundboard's not working. Yeah, for this
that
one
kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean they're making a big robot.
Yeah,
Jay, what do you think?
They want to. Just worked a little bit late. Jay, what do you think about this one?
They are making a big robot.
Oh, I thought that was me.
I thought that was Cole too.
I thought that was my triggering.
No,
okay,
oh,
no, it was me.
Because Cole probably smashed that button so many times trying to get it to work. They're trying to make mobile suits, but not big ones. And the whole theme of this is, it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because Gundam's like a series that's very political and about like the nastiness of war and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So according to the website, the prototyping project of a new maneuverable robot for social implementation of mobile suit and plasma egg. Holy crap, this is, what am I reading? They want to realize a real mobile suit and perform peaceful activities. And then it goes on to define peaceful activities. And then it defines a mobile suit as a controlled robot that enriches people's lives through interaction with people. So I don't know what that means. That could just be like a Roomba for all I know.
They're making Roombas. They're making big Roombas.
They're making
big Roombas that say hello and good day.
They're making Big Zam, but peaceful Big Zam.
Yeah. What if they're making Haro?
Haro would be a good move, actually. But it says it's controllable.
Cool. They're making Ball.
You have to pilot it. They might be making Ball. Actually, Jay, they might be making Ball.
I have Ball right here.
My ball is destroyed. My ball has been destroyed.
Yeah.
Dog ate it.
It's what happens when you're married.
Next one, Green Colony Project, phase 3 of their projects here. What do you guys think that is?
They're building a greenhouse.
They're making it so you can plant in space.
Well, working in parallel with the Team Space Life project, the Green Space Colony Project will provide experimental environments to study the effects of gravity, closed environments, etc. that are unique to space and will help humans realize life in space.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's keep in mind this is Bandai Namco doing this, not like NASA.
I mean, listen, I don't want to be. Oh, no. You got one more. I got one
more.
Okay.
Beam Saber. What do you guys think that is?
They're going to build a beam saber. What else could it possibly be?
I know. The names kind of speak for themselves a little bit. I won't. Jay, do you have a guess what this one is? You're kind of looking down. I don't want to.
He's going to say Big Zam.
Yeah, they're making the Big Zam sword. It's a sword, but it looks just like Big Zam.
Okay. This one confused me the most because I don't understand what the hell they're doing with this and how this works. Remember, they're trying to be peaceful here. This is supposed to be a peaceful message. So building a beam sword. Yeah, it's a peaceful sword.
Like a Jedi.
The Plasma Agriculture Project, inspired by Beam Saber, is not focused on creating weaponry. Rather, the team will study plasma for agricultural purposes.
What
the team states that plasma can now be maintained in the air, making it possible to control it gently so it does not get hot even when touched by people or plants. If this is applied to agriculture, we can expect to promote plant growth, improve immunity, and cultivate with reduced pesticides. What the?
I mean this in the most like lovingly possible way I can possibly state something to Gundam and Bandai.
Yes, please.
What the are you talking about? What the hell does that mean? Plasma? We're going to control plasma plants? Peacefully. What does that have to do with anything? I mean, I can't wait to see them peacefully controlling this plasma, but
I feel like the moment this becomes like a big thing, it's going to become a race to perfect it. And then it could start a war.
It could. Honestly, like this is cool stuff. If they actually like succeed in their goals, which are pretty lofty, that's cool. That's cool for humanity. But like, I'm sure they have like
Bandai Namco is going to start World War III.
It's kind of looking that way.
I mean,
what if
there's kind of a race all around the world of who's going to start World War III first.
Bandai Namco is taking the lead.
Bandai Namco is kind of doing a good job.
Honestly, they might have mechs in World War III, so that might be the side to choose. And beam swords. What if it's just a cover? What if What if it's all just a cover and they're actually like getting ready?
What if they're behind the aliens in the Miami Mall?
Bandai Namco is behind the Miami aliens.
What if
It was
Japan
only a matter
knows,
of time until I brought that up.
What if Japan knows
I brought
that
it
there's
up for you.
aliens and they're building the mechs to be able to combat these aliens?
Whoa,
Or
man.
alternatively, they're using the alien technology to make these mechs.
Whoa, Jay's onto something. Okay, I'm going to be the guy that
Yes.
poo-poos on this. None of this
Yes.
will happen.
No,
I
of course
agree
not.
with you.
Yeah.
Of course,
I think they probably have like a $30,000 budget for all of this. So like,
We can do this with $30,000, right?
you know,
No,
like,
30,000
this is-
yen. What?
Yeah. No, like
$3
this
grand.
is the type of stuff that like governments fund. Never
Yeah.
mind like a company. Like there's
Yeah.
just no way for any of
Yeah.
this. But like if they do something cool, why not? I hope
Yeah.
something cool comes out of it. But I
mean,
thought it was
there is
cool.
that, there is that
that they're at
cool
least trying.
big Gundam that just kind of stands there in Japan and does
Yeah.
nothing.
Which one?
Yeah.
The one, well, okay, let me tell you the story. Let me regale you with a story.
Yeah, it wasn't working when you were there, right?
It was closed when I was there.
Yeah.
It was closed. I went all the way there. It was like an hour and a half train ride to Yokohama, and it was closed.
Did you go to the
Mhm.
manga museum?
No, and I didn't go to the Ghibli Museum either before anybody asks.
Apparently,
am-
the Ghibli Museum's like impossible to get into. So
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
far away
yeah.
from me too, so.
yeah,
Jay, can you hit that button for me? Oh, no, wait, you got one more story. Sorry.
you got one more. Don't
Yeah.
cut off my boy
Wow.
Jay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Look,
I'm sorry.
Cole, do you like Kyo Annie?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen Hyouka?
Yeah, I've seen Hyouka.
Did you like it?
It was pretty good.
Okay, what if I told you that the guy that wrote Hyouka, like the original novels,
Mhm.
has another one of his series getting an anime?
Why? Why don't they just make a sequel to Hyouka?
Because it's caught up.
Yeah,
or
they
he
don't need
hasn't
to make
written any in like years.
They don't need to make a sequel to Hyouka. They don't need to make a sequel to everything. I'm speaking to you. You know who you
I'm
are.
sorry. I want a sequel to this anime I've never seen.
No, Jay, that's exciting. Has he done
man.
any other work other than Hyouka?
Yeah, he's done the Shoshimin series,
Which
Which
is
basically called How to Become Ordinary. It's about these two.
I need that book.
Mike
it's
is
about
just
these
too
two high school
extraordinary.
kids kind of like exploring the middle class and learning about that.
Oh, look at these peons. Let's learn about the middle class.
The synopsis: let's help each other and aim to become perfect, ordinary citizens.
Let us learn about the proletariat.
Yes, the weak masses.
Jay, are you excited about this anime that you?
As a guy who loves Hyouka,
Mhm.
and has wanted to discuss it on the podcast, I'm
Mhm.
very excited for this.
Is it like a
Jay?
potential review in your mind, the Hyouka?
We'll find out sometime soon.
Stay tuned
Stay tuned
for that one. Yeah, no, I know Jay. Jay's been a big fan of Hyouka. Jay's wrong about Best Girl as usual, but
No,
we won't talk about that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, who have they made an announcement as to the studio that's going to be doing this?
the studio. It's Studio Lapin Track, who did
yes.
recently. They did Undead Girl Murder Farce.
Oh yeah, Murder Fart Face. Yeah.
Oh, that was a good show.
And the director is the director of The Promised Neverland.
Oh,
Which one?
The
Did
only
you
one that
direct
exists.
both seasons? Okay.
Only the only one that exists.
yeah. What are you talking
Okay.
about?
Yeah,
Both
what are you talking
seasons. Yeah.
Just checking out. Just checking.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, we got a good writer, we got a good director, we got
Yeah.
a questionable studio, but I mean, Mike's seen Murder Fart Face and he said it's good. So
I mean, here's the thing. I don't really care about the studio itself
mhm.
because, like, you can have like an amazing studio, and if the people behind it are just like stinkers, then the show's not going to be
Mhm.
good.
That's
Oh, they
true.
also did Sarazanmai. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that was a popular one.
Yeah.
And
I
then
couldn't-
the producers are the ones who are doing Dangers in My Heart too. And
Yeah.
Blue Lock. There's some crumbs here for sure.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of a lot of potential here. The character designer worked at speaking of KyoAni, the character designer worked at KyoAni, and I'm going, man, you have someone who did animation at KyoAni and you're just having them design the characters.
Yeah, I mean the character designs at KyoAni though are pretty good.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm sold, Jay. I'm sold. You sold me on this. I will watch it. I will draft it. I will draft it so that you can't draft it.
I probably shouldn't have brought it to your attention.
Yeah, I was gonna say this backfired once again.
Yeah. I'll forget about it. Okay.
Yeah, you will. It comes
now,
out in summer. We've got so much time.
Oh yeah, no, I'll forget about it. Jay, can you hit that button because my my thing's not working?
Is it this one?
It's time for the mailbag.
It's the mailbag. You can send us a mailbag question either at our website, AniProPod.com/mailbag, or at our Discord. Come to our Discord. This one is sent to us via Discord, and it is a patron priority mailbag. Wee woo. It is from Tribal Chief of the Mailbag, Kratos. He has a question for One Piece fans, listeners, and hosts alike. So I guess I'm out on this one. But who do you ship Luffy with? His answer is Luffy and meat.
I mean, that is the canonically correct answer.
See, I ship Luffy with his crew because they all sail on the same Thousand Sunny. So they're all on the same ship.
Oh,
Jay
boo.
with the meme answer.
Can you hit the boo? Weak. Can you hit the boo button?
Oh, yeah, for sure. One second.
Sure.
Yeah, as he scrambles for the applause button, probably.
Yeah.
See.
This is what happens when I lose control.
Yeah,
I'm not much of a shipper, to be honest with you. I don't generally ship characters. Like when you guys say you watch anime and you like pick characters and you're rooting for that relationship. Mm-hmm. I don't generally do that. So I don't think I've ever actually like thought of Luffy in a relationship other than like when they try to like slam him and Boa Hancock together.
He's also like definitively said, "I'm not marrying you." So, I mean...
Yeah, he's kind of like clearly shown no interest in it. So, like, I've never really thought of it.
You must, though. You must think of it because one of our lovely listeners has asked.
Yeah, I know. And it's not only a patron priority listener, but it's also the chief of the mailbag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with him, though. Meat is the answer. That's Luffy's two desires are the One Piece and meat. That's all he wants.
I think it's freedom. I'm going to ship Luffy with freedom.
I'm going to ship Luffy with the One Piece, which is his hat.
Mm-hmm. Cole adopting my theory, I see.
I have nothing to go on. Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure. I'll go with Mike's theory. The hat is the One Piece.
The hat is the One Piece? Could be. We'll see.
We shall see.
It's a song for all intents and purposes.
I think it's the gum fruit. I don't know. That's a thing, right? That's a thing that's in One Piece, right?
That's a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Was a thing.
One Piece hater tries to understand One Piece.
Yeah. Exactly. One Piece hater reacts.
The name of this episode.
So much One Piece this episode too.
Yeah, too much. Dying. Too much One Piece.
Yeah. No, not enough One Piece.
Much One Piece.
Speaking of One Piece, actually, I'm going to spiral off this mailbag a little bit.
Yeah.
I remember my New Year's resolution from last year to catch up on the dub of One Piece. Did it the other day. We're caught up.
Wow.
Jay, hit that button.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is flawless and great audio content here, waiting for Jay to hit a button.
It doesn't work anymore.
Awesome.
Why do we rely on this soundboard?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, it does
work. That actually scared me.
The specific one that isn't working. Okay.
Okay.
Are you both logged into the... Anyway, we'll talk about this.
Yeah, we'll talk about this during the break.
But no, it's kind of crazy. There we go. I'm losing my mind. I'm going nuts on the podcast. This is too much.
Mike, what are you talking about?
Okay.
I didn't hear anything. Well, you just stopped talking.
Yeah.
Just stopped talking randomly. Yeah, that was weird. Are you going nuts?
Yeah.
Maybe all this One Piece watching I've been doing has driven me insane, and I'm just time for the mailbag. Am I talking to myself now?
Okay, the mail. Okay, we're done. We're done. We got to get through this. Lots of One Piece.
Lots of One Piece.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is they went from like they've been putting out like 150 episodes of the dub for like the past couple of years per year, which is kind of nuts. That's a crazy pace to maintain, and they're gonna be like caught up. It's gonna be simul-dubbing with the anime by summer, which is nuts. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Good for them. Yeah. Good for the dubbing team.
Good job, Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
Especially considering it was on a hiatus for a long time. Yeah.
Let's make our own soundboard. Okay, so now it's my turn to give you guys some hints for our next review before we go into the break.
Yes.
I have a review for us to watch. It's going to be a little anime. It's 12 episodes long.
Mm-hmm.
It's by Studio A1.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me look at the tags here. Okay, so tags are military, war, politics, and alternate universe.
Can
you guys guess what it is? Do you have any guesses?
I think it's Bocchi the Rock.
It's a good guess.
Yeah.
I think it is every other show at once except for Bocchi the Rock.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. I think we're watching.
We're getting eyes on our foreheads. I need to go make a quick visit to Hanako-kun during this break.
Potty break.
We're back. Go vote for the. Vote for the WEEBies.
Go vote for the
Hey, sumimasen, we forgot.
Sumimasen, we are forgetful people. Go vote for the WEEBies. The nominees are all listed. Go vote. Just vote.
Go vote.
Vote so many times.
Cole has no idea how the WEEBies work, so I'll tell you.
Please do.
The document is listed in our Discord, or it's probably in the show notes of this episode as well. The voting will probably close sometime in the near future if you're listening to this, so vote now if you want to vote. It's basically the list of nominees are just all our seasonal awards winners throughout the year of 2023. And it's decided by you, the winners. You get to choose which of our choices decides to win the most.
Mm-hmm. The link will be in the description on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it'll be on all the show notes, and it'll be in our Discord channel as well, in the announcements channel.
Thank you for saving me, Michael. Thank you.
And we're gonna share it on our Insta social medias and stuff too. We want as many votes as possible.
Yeah.
We changed the format up a little bit this year, so you're gonna get to pick 2 for each category, and then 3 for the final anime of the year. We combined our new anime of the season picks and our anime of the season picks into one anime of the year category. So you have to pick 3, and then the winner will be decided by mass vote.
Whoa!
Vote now.
Vote now.
Link in the description.
Let's get out and vote. Let's make our voices heard. We've been given the right to choose between a douche and a turd. Okay, I'll stop.
I've never heard that.
Why don't we?
It feels like South Park. Yeah.
Why don't we Pokemon Go to the polls?
Yes.
I'm gonna throw this in the middle of the episode. This will be like our ad. So enjoy the second half, I guess.
Yeah, listen to our scathing take on Hanako-kun, or our loving take on Hanako-kun, whichever it happens to be.
It was the worst show I've ever seen in my life.
Welcome back to the Anime Potatoes podcast. I don't even know if we were ready to come back. I just had to come back with Mike making that noise and face.
The gargling of Budweiser.
It felt right. It felt right in my heart.
I think I have it here. Price is Right.
What do you have? What do you have?
I don't know the Price is Right thing.
I thought we gave up on the soundboard.
Yeah, we're just going to let the soundboard just live on its own while we live in this review, because it's review time, baby. Thank you.
Oh, nicely done.
We're going to be reviewing the show Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Who nominated this show?
Mike did.
That would be me. Mr.
Mikey boy nominated it. So before we begin the review, go ahead.
Before we do any of that, let's quickly review the hit show Baccano, because that was Mike's original pick.
Let's very briefly touch on Baccano.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
So what did the both of you think of it? Yay or nay?
Unfortunately, I was unable to watch that television
you didn't watch
program.
it?
No, unfortunately, there was no way for me to watch it.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I watched it.
Okay.
How?
I have it on DVD.
Yeah, you have it on DVD.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Yeah. Can you grab it?
It's on the other end of the
We know
room.
that you'd have it.
We know it. We know that it'd be, if you did own the DVD, we know it'd already be on your desk in your hand.
Yeah, you'd have it in arm's reach.
It'd be placed directly behind you, next to that Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Untrue.
No, I wouldn't do that. I've never done that.
I've never done that.
No. Knowing me, I would specifically not do that for this bit.
That does sound like something you would do.
That does sound like that checks out.
Tricky boy.
So spicy, like that Pepsi.
We are actually reviewing Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. And our reviews, basically, we try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible. If there are any spoilers that we do need to discuss, we will put a spoiler warning, and then you can listen freely up until that point. So
yeah.
We always give a nice big warning before we dive into spoilers. We just kind of discuss the show and etc. I will also be revealing our next review before any spoiler warnings, so don't worry about missing out on what we're reviewing next as well. Should also remind people that we will be reviewing a manga coming up shortly within the next few weeks before we get into this, and that manga will be as nominated by Jay. What will that manga be?
Gogh Loser Ranger. I don't have it on me though. It's on the other end of the room.
That sounds Cap. Speaking of Cap, nice hat, Jay.
Thank you.
Jay with the cap in the second half here.
Yeah.
Chapeau.
He's back with the hat.
I didn't want to call attention to it, but okay. Thank you.
I want to call attention to it.
Listen, we're going to point it out, all right.
Yeah. You can't come on this second half with a hat.
I'm having
Mike,
a bad hair day today, and I went, okay, I don't like this.
Oh,
does happen. Okay. Does happen to the best of us. I will tell you about Hanako-kun and his toilet. I nominated this just because basically, like, I'd always been, the art style looked cool to me. It seemed like a unique thing, and I'm a sucker for a show with a weird name too. And this show definitely fits all those boxes.
Yeah.
And it seemed like there was a lot of love for this. I don't know so much about this, but it seems like the manga in particular gets a lot of love, and the anime gets kind of love as well. So I was kind of there's a lot of things that made me curious about it. The kind of the gist of it is that at this school, there's like rumors about these, like, you know how every school has like, oh, if you go in the bathroom and turn off the lights and say something into the mirror, like a Bloody Mary will appear before you. Or there's urban lores in every school or whatever, right?
No. There wasn't.
Really?
Your
school didn't have any?
No.
Oh, maybe they left you out of it. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry to inform you.
You know what they say? If everybody has
the rumor,
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Jay was the urban legend. He is the one who knocks. But in this school, there is a rumor that if you go into the girls' bathroom, this is kind of based on like an actual superstition in Japan, Hanako-kun, but it's kind of like a little bit of a perversion of that idea, because she goes in the bathroom, knocks on the stall, does the ritual, and who appears but a little boy named Hanako-kun, not the little girl that she was expecting. And hilarity ensues, I guess, is maybe the easy way to summarize the rest of the show, spoiler free. But
yeah, it's kind of like a mystery of the week type of show.
Yeah, it's much more episodic.
A little bit. So the genres are action, comedy, drama, mystery, supernatural. And I'm surprised that romance didn't make it into that list, because there is definitely quite a lot of like romantic elements.
It definitely teases it.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Jay? Sorry, I cut you off.
We'll get into this a bit later. But for the spoiler-free, for your understanding of the spoiler-free section, there are a lot of differences between this and the manga.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did know that actually.
And other things, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, so
it's kind of like one of those situations where they kind of like mess with the order of things, from what I can tell, and like
a little bit,
quite a bit they left out and mixed around.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that's Studio Lerche's move, because I looked back through their like shows they've done, and like a lot of them, you can say that about, that they kind of just like messed with the source material for the adaptation.
I think I think I understand why they did it for this one, because they probably didn't know they were going to get a season 2, which now there is a season 2.
Is going to be a season 2.
Yeah, yeah, there's going to be a season 2. So like, I get it, but we'll talk about how we may feel about that, or maybe we won't. But I have thoughts on it.
Jay's got notes.
He's got notes. He sent a screenshot of his notes app. What do you guys believe about each other? What do you guys think we did? Cole, did you do your thing where you explain how we do reviews? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
About it.
What do you guys think about it? What do you guys think that we thought about it?
I think we all liked this show. I hope we all liked this show, because let me tell. Well, I'm going to spoil it because I just inadvertently did.
Yeah, this is kind of. I think we should just talk about it, honestly.
Yeah. This is probably one of the best shows that I've dropped.
You dropped the show? I didn't know you'd actually tried it. Oh,
yeah. I watched it when it was coming out. It was one of those shows that I just kind of lost interest in, and I enjoyed watching this. I started watching it on Sunday. Let me just tell all of the listeners and you boys about how I watch or how I prep for the reviews. I'll start a show and then I'll think, how many episodes do I have to watch every day so that I can make sure that I'm done. So I started watching on Sunday. We record Friday, so I'm like, okay, I got to watch 2 episodes a day. I was done by Monday. I was done the next day. I binged this show.
I remember you texting us like the Monday being like, I'm done. And I was like, oh, I haven't even started yet.
Neither had I, Jay. You're not alone in that camp.
Yeah. No, it was
it's a sign that Cole likes a show, though, is when
sure. I just couldn't really put it down. Like it was,
I think this is a very good example of that right time, right place mentality. Because like liking things is all a matter of being in the right moment. And like maybe watching this show week by week wasn't as interesting for you as it would be through the binging model. Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, I like the setup of it. Like I like the uniqueness of how it takes the Hanako-san mythos, if you will, and it kind of inverts it. Hanako. Oh my god. Hanako-kun is now a kun, as in a boy. And there's kind of like mystery behind him and his like intentions and everything. I really like the setup of this television program. What did you guys like the setup of this? You guys like how we dive into the show? Like,
I thought the first episode was fine. I wouldn't say like I was as drawn into it as you were. It's very hard to explain, but like the initial thing, like I was like, this is fine, but I kind of need a little bit more.
Okay.
Was what I was thinking.
That's kind of where I came into it too. I watched the first episode with Shazana, and yeah, I was watching it and I just kept waiting to get hooked initially. And I was just like kind of not seeing what the hype was all about.
So,
and the other thing that took me aback right away is one thing that I probably wasn't prepared for. And I don't know how I wasn't prepared for it, is this is one of those anime that is borderline not animated a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's almost like an animated manga is maybe what I would call it.
Yeah.
In a weird, I don't know how to describe that style other than that.
The
house husband style.
I think the show kind of carries itself just off of its style, you know. I think it has enough confidence in the look of the show, the vibes, the character designs and everything that it feels like it doesn't necessarily need to animate. I think maybe.
I think that's part of it for sure.
I think sure. I would have liked to see it more in kind of like an animated style. And that was kind of one of the thoughts I had was I wasn't the biggest fan of the direction of this show, but I was a huge fan of the art direction of the show.
I kind of agree with that, Jay. I like that take actually.
For a comparison, for those of you who watched Shy, this is the same director. And the moment I saw like I really hated when it would be like it would have one scene and then like a smaller kind of like panel screen kind of overlaid over top and they'd blur the background. Is
that something that happens in Shy too? I think that might be this guy's like signature move from what I can tell.
And my thoughts on that are kind of like, this is a completely different medium from the comic book. And I feel like if we're watching a show, the medium should be used to its fullest potential for what it's good at, rather than what some other medium is good at. So that was my thought. But I thought that the show itself, like the look of the show and all that, beautiful.
Yeah,
it's one of those shows where like any still image you take from it is going to look probably pretty good. Because they didn't a lot of it really is kind of a still image, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a cool show. And I really like what they did with like the lighting and how colorful and vibrant everything is. And like you said, the art direction is like great. Like it just looks cool and unique. The only thing that I didn't love particularly about the art style, and this is just like personally, I don't like this style of art or this style of characters and this style of like I don't know how to describe it. I kept thinking of Scott Pilgrim as I was watching it too. I don't really like the look of that either, even though that was animated really well. It's kind of the opposite end of this, but like the same style. And it's just a personal thing. I just don't really enjoy that style.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of like the panty and stocking, Powerpuff Girls kind of.
Yeah. Or what's the one you watched by Studio Trigger where she turns into a gun?
Luluco.
Space Patrol Luluco.
Yeah. I like that design though, because it's like, it gives me like Saturday morning cartoon vibes, and isn't that what we're all looking for, just to go back to our childhood.
And I think I think it's also just like a really good adaptation of the manga's designs, which like is almost 1-to-1, just like kind of upscaled for in color anime, which I thought was really nice.
That's what I wanted to bring up about like the colorful aspect of it. They did a good job of like making it colorful, like Mike said, but still kind of keeping its like dark palette in place. Like everything feels like it's kind of, everything's in like shadows almost, like there's bad lighting everywhere. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. And like the worlds that they go to in it are all really cool as well. Honestly, I kept thinking back, like while I was watching this, not only for the Scott Pilgrim and all that stuff I was talking about, but like I kept thinking this is like, this is going to sound kind of mean, but like baby's first Monogatari a little bit.
I'm glad you said that.
Okay, we all had the same
so thought. Literally one of the notes I wrote was, imagine if this was directed by Akiyuki Shinbo, who directed Monogatari and all those shows.
But like, I don't feel good saying that at the same time, because it's a different show and it's just done differently. But like, I don't know, it's definitely got
comparable.
I think it's definitely comparable. Yeah.
Like it's a dark supernatural setting with like comedic aspects to it.
It's just like if
I make a more favorable comparison to Monogatari. I think we're starting to get the vibes here. Maybe I like this show a bit more than you guys did, but I did compare it to Monogatari in good ways. I felt like the direction in it was interesting. I liked some of the cutaways. I liked how there's one scene where our main character Yashiro Nene.
That's the main character, Nene.
She kind of goes to there's one scene where something happens and the screen aspect, like the aspect ratio changes, and it's like, okay, nice. I like little directive choices like that. It gave me Monogatari vibes in good ways. Like, of course, it's inferior, but Monogatari is like one of the best directed anime of all time.
I mean,
feel like-
Shinbo is just a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to clarify. When I say baby's first Monogatari, I mean it's like Monogatari is clearly directed towards the horny 17-year-old. This is clearly directed towards the like 10 or 12-year-old. I would say.
Yeah, I think it's a little more mature than that, but I hope.
I think
it is,
at the
'cause I
same
liked it.
time, a lot of the fat, and I mentioned this earlier, a lot of the fat that was in the manga was kind of trimmed. Like one of the arcs was cut in this one, and that arc kind of introduces like the main ongoing storyline of the manga. And like I said earlier, I get why that was done, because if you've only got one season, your options are you basically have that like go read the manga mentality where like you just kind of cut off in an awkward spot. Or you just like keep it episodic as best you can, get rid of like all that serialized narrative aspects, and just do the best you can with what else you have after that.
Yeah. I kind of got that vibe too. I feel like you can definitely tell they didn't think they would get, like, they probably didn't think this was going to go more than 12 episodes, and they probably knew they couldn't push it more than that.
Yeah.
And then just like, it's one of those ones where like there was enough outcry for a second season that it got a reboot. And like, not only did it get a reboot, but not a reboot, sorry. It got teased as a reboot for some reason. People were all thinking like, what the heck? Why is it getting a reboot already? But it's actually just a season 2. And then the After School Hanako-kun, which I think is like a spin-off manga, or either that or it adapts the stuff that they didn't adapt in the first season. I'm not super sure.
After School Hanako-kun is a spin-off manga of the original. So that's what that adapts. I'm guessing if they were going, when season 2 comes out, they're going to do the stuff that they skipped first, because that introduces the story. But I'm not sure.
I'm curious. I think I know what part they might have skipped, because it was the one part of the show where I felt like it was maybe lacking. But if it's not that, I don't know what
I think it's a character that isn't even in the show at all. I think they skipped basically.
Then I don't know what it is.
I don't really know. Yeah. I didn't read the manga. You know what? I will say though that this is one where I felt like it made me want to read the manga. And part of that was really because I just like the animation style. I don't know if I loved the adaptation of it, even though I don't know the source material. It just like the style didn't resonate with me. And that's just like a personal thing. I don't think it's bad. I think in fact, I think it's good. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it is definitely cartoony. It's stylistic, I think. Like
it's very
they
stylistic.
Definitely, definitely went for style. I mean, I already made this reference: style over substance when it comes to the visuals of it.
Yeah.
I think the director probably put his eggs in like direction choices baskets rather than like making cool action shots, because the action and the fact that it says action as one of the tags here is kind of not placed well.
To give it like, it's not placed well for sure, but like the few action scenes you do get actually are pretty good. Like anytime Hanako pulls out his knife, I was kind of like, oh, that's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here for there are the makings of a good anime in here. It's just like I feel like there are some choices that were made that kind of maybe not make it reach that potential.
So Mike, you mentioned like people were maybe a bit cold on this. Do you have the reviews from AniList? I know this is your bit.
Yes.
I want to discuss the public opinion, if you will.
Let's see what the public thinks about it. Well, for starters, rated 78 out of 100 on AniList, both average and mean score. Okay,
yeah, that's
kind of like standard. Like this is a good show.
So I figured out what average and mean score the difference is just by doing my own research. So the average score is the Rotten Tomatoes score, and then the mean score is like the actual average of all the scores.
Okay.
Yes.
So
the
like
average is like a weighted score.
Yeah, it's
so the mean score is basically it takes positive or negative reviews and just assigns it.
so the average score is like it says like how many reviews rated over 70% or whatever. Whereas the mean score will add up all the scores and then divide by however many there are.
The mean score is the hard data. The average score is a little more just like, did you like it or did you not?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then but it's weird that they end up often being pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
Because anyway,
Reviews.
back to the reviews. Yes. I had to catch my train of thought there. First one. Unfortunately, the story is nowhere near as consistent as its aesthetic. What do we think of that one?
I think that's accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I like the story, but I mean, this is definitely like ooga booga. This show pretty.
I think
that's part of why I like it.
I think that the manga having a more serialized narrative probably, if you're not interested in the Monster of the Week style, would probably be the way to go. But yeah,
you know what? I don't think the story's like bad by anything. I think it just maybe the first half of the story was kind of weak, and then I felt like in the second half it definitely picked up and like it got more interesting and more engaging. Like you're more invested because there's more of a storyline going on.
Yeah, I think
you get like an
Which is
actual
usually how manga
antagonist.
start, right?
yeah.
Next up, we got warm, rich colors and a distinct art style makes this fun supernatural adventure a visual feast.
I agree.
How do you feel about that? Yeah.
I agree.
I agree with that too. Actually.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
I don't know about the visual feast, just because like the animation. I would have liked to see a little more animation
In motion. Definitely,
for
I
a visual
agree.
feast.
I just like the art direction is amazing.
Yeah.
Cute and funny story with animation that matches the mood. We're seeing a theme here. The aesthetic of this one is on point for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The rest of them are aesthetic visuals, amazing art style, neat aesthetic, unique art style, but a cliche plot. And one of the anime with the best art style and AMV editors. And that's the other thing I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit is I feel like part of this show is almost like an identity for some people. Like the fans of this show, they stick together. There's so many edits. There's like, I went to look up a character because I know someone in our Discord that uses Sosuke Mitsuba as like one of their handles, and that's one of the characters. And I was like confused. I'm like, oh, it's like a really minor character to be like fascinated with, right? And then I tried to find out more about them, and then I found out how much shipping there is with this show.
Yeah,
it is. I feel like that is like an important part of this show, though, is like the community of it.
The thought I had while I was watching this is like if Tumblr was still like a very prominent thing today, it would be all over Tumblr.
This is a Tumblr show for sure.
Yeah.
And I also, because of this show, learned what all the meanings of like these different ships is. Like a slash shipping is like a same-sex shipping and stuff. I learned a lot, man. This show taught me quite a bit.
Maybe
that means that it's a good show.
Maybe,
yeah.
It's teaching you. It's teaching you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe I'm falling for this show. Maybe I need to get in on the shipping train, you know?
maybe you should. Who would you ship? Let's find out. Let's see what you'd ship right now. Who's your ship of the show?
I mean, the ship of the show has got to be Nene and Hanako-kun. I mean, who else? I'm a vanilla guy.
So vanilla. Yeah. I mean, if I had to ship one, I'd probably ship Nene and blonde boy there.
Ko
or
Ko
and Sosuke. Because honestly, like they had the most chemistry in the whole show.
They had good chemistry.
Talking about characters here, Ko and Sosuke had like the most chemistry for sure.
Yeah.
The one thing that I also heard about the manga.
No. Hold on, Jay. You're not getting out of this.
Who you shipping? You're
not getting out of this.
You gotta ship.
Okay, I'll I mean, I was gonna say Nene and Ko. I think have
okay.
Yeah.
I like them.
But the thing I was going to say is the show focuses a lot more on Nene's interactions with Hanako and Ko over like Ko and Hanako's interactions or things like that. Like it's a lot more Nene focused. When like it kind of, from what I understand, is more ensemble in the manga. Where like
that makes
Hanako
sense, 'cause
kind of has more of an appearance, or Ko has more of an appearance.
Yeah,
it definitely seems like they decided, let's make Nene the main character.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that she wasn't the main character in the manga, because she definitely is like the protagonist of this
she's
show.
like a very, like, she is a main character, but like there are a lot more interactions that she's not a part of that was kind of taken out, at least from my understanding.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, we've got to discuss the show as it is, not just something, just a fact, whether or not that's positive or negative, like it's up to you. But Jay hated it.
Did you know that people ship they ship Hana Donut is a ship? The ship between Hanako and Donuts?
Yeah, that checks out.
Also, there's a ship between May and Book. I guess that person hasn't come up yet. There's a ship between Mitsuba and his camera.
Yeah, this all checks out.
It. This is great.
Ship between Nene and the Moke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Those guys are great too.
Yeah, I like them. Okay. Sorry. What are we doing? Are we reviewing a show?
I don't remember now.
We're reviewing the show.
OPED, sound and voice actors. Let's talk about that stuff.
OP. Let's start with the OP.
Sure.
Again, just so stylistic. It's so fun. I love how it subtly changes towards the end, where like different characters are introduced and stuff like that.
I'm a sucker for that too. That's always good.
Yeah, I liked it. I think that like one thing that kind of like brought it down a little bit for me was it does play like moments of the show.
It seemed like it only played moments from the first episode, though.
Yeah, it is only the first episode, but I mean, still, it was just kind of.
Yeah, I feel like I know what you mean, because I've used that as like a downside for OPs for me. Yeah. But I feel like it put enough filters over it to kind of hide it enough for me.
It's not immediately obvious.
Yeah, for my dumb brain.
Yeah. Like if you just watched the OP on YouTube, you probably wouldn't pick up on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
but the song bangs.
Like the song bangs.
It fits the mood of the show. I mean, number 7.
I don't know when it there's that part at the start of the OP where like all the music like does the 1 2 3 and it shows the knocking. Like you knock on the door 3 times for Hanako-san. It's just cool little things like that.
I like when OPs like fit the show as well as this too. It's not just. I'm a sucker for like just a hype, like let's just see some cool stuff and like listen to a good song. But like this one definitely like fit the show and like kind of told the story of the show. I do like that. I think it's an original song for this show, right?
Yeah,
I would guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry, this is kind of not related, but it fits the show and everything. This would be a great Halloween show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a show to watch around Halloween. Like it's fun. It's spoopy. Not spooky.
No, it's spoopy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's actually getting like scared watching this show, but like it's definitely got like that spoopy vibe a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It like even the scary moments are usually undercut by like jokes. There's scenes where things seem dire, but like they're still like cracking jokes about stuff.
And even like the main antagonist in the show like comes off very scary at first. Probably like their initial appearance is the scariest thing of the show.
I don't know.
And
they do scare me because they're so like goofy.
They do have that menacing aura to them, and
they're
like just
unhinged. Their
ties into certain things also like is very intriguing and threatening.
But like they do kind of have that vibe of like Ghetto and the Curses in the first season of Jujutsu Kaisen, where they're kind of like a little silly and goofy, but they're doing dark stuff at the same time.
I'm more scared of characters like that than I am of like the
pure
Emperor.
evil.
Yeah. What about the ED there?
Yeah.
I love the ED. I
feel like this is definitely one Jay likes the ED better.
I prefer the ED over the OP. Just the like. I mean, we talk about this for everything. The style was great. I feel like it had a bit more of like a creative touch to it, which I really liked. A little bit of the imagery was really nice.
the pencil sketching. I like the song too.
The song's
which
nice,
which was sung by the lead actress, the lead seiyuu, which is always a nice touch.
For Nene?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have her name written down. Akari Kito.
Oh,
Akari Kito.
Nice pronunciation too.
He wanted to flex his
But even like the OP and ED of this show kind of follow like the Monogatari recipe too, of having like a banging groovy opening and then just like this kind of like sketchy somber OP.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the spirit of the show too, right? It's interesting, the parallels really.
Yeah, it's fun, exciting on the surface, but once you dig down, there's some
sadness. And from what I've seen from manga readers, apparently this thing gets SAD.
It gets really dark. I've had someone tell me like they don't expect a happy ending from this.
It is sad. It has seasonal affectiveness disorder.
That's right.
Yeah. The OST as well. I don't recall anything being bad about No, I like the OST. No, I recall things being good about the OST. Listen, this is me working in real time. I'm just talking through my thoughts.
That's how you get it out.
I like the OST. They use like music box kind of sounds in it. Like it's not your stereotypical like exciting, bombastic, orchestrated music. It's very minimalistic and very
kind of
small.
fits the setting though. It fits
like everything takes place in a little like
little
snow
box.
globe.
Yeah. And it feels like a weird like the setting of this really feels like kind of like a fever dream a little bit that you would have.
Yeah.
Because like it's like a school with like these like curses or whatever, these spirits, but it's actually all real. And like even like the way the school is like depicted and like the sounds and stuff are all kind of like ethereal and otherworldly. Like nothing really feels real in this.
Yeah, I mean the bathroom stalls have little windows on them.
Yeah.
Did anybody pick up on that? I thought that was so weird.
Was there windows? I didn't.
Yeah, they had little like triangular windows on them.
Oh, that's a weird.
Maybe
move.
they were mirrors, but
maybe it was just. I don't know.
Yeah,
I saw that. I'm like, no.
Look, man. Sometimes people got to look at themselves when they're taking a huge.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to use the
sound
famous.
direction was good.
I'm going to use the famous line that you guys love to use. This isn't the best OST, but I do think it's the best Hanako-kun OST. It really fits the mood. It's minimalistic.
You can thank Mr. Hiroshi Takaki. Takaki. Jay to help me.
Takaki.
Takaki. Thank you. Yeah.
I think he did a great job.
He also did the soundtrack for Kyoso Giga, another Cole favorite there.
Kyoso Giga. Yeah. That's a blast from the past. I haven't watched that in a long time. I really like this show, guys. How many episodes would you give this show before you inevitably drop it, Jay?
I probably would say like give it. I'd probably say like 3 episodes. I think like by then you kind of have an idea of what the show's going to be doing. I could see an argument for like once this one character is introduced. I think the both of you know who I'm talking about. But I don't remember exactly which episode it is.
Is it the villain?
Yeah, it's the villain.
Oh, okay.
The main antagonist of the show. Once he's introduced, I feel like that's kind of everything's on the table and you know what's going to be happening for the rest.
That is when it really starts to get good. That's when its wheels start getting grip.
Which is funny because that apparently happens. He's introduced after like the main plot line is introduced in the manga.
Interesting.
So like it makes sense. I've heard that one of the reasons they skipped it is also because they wanted to introduce him as quickly as possible. But
they want to get the main antagonist in if they thought they were only going to get one series.
Yeah.
I mean,
he first appears in chapter 15 of the manga or in the anime episode 5. So that kind of corroborates what Jay's saying too.
Yeah, I'd probably.
So you're saying give it 5 episodes then? I would agree with that. I feel like once he came in, it felt like the story really started kicking off and like actually kind of sucked me in a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like I would have dropped it before there, though, is the problem.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's unanimous. We need to be introduced to our antagonists for the story to really get me.
If it was 12 episodes of the first 3 episodes, I don't think I would be speaking very highly of it at all.
I do like when they go to the initial, what are they called? The spirit realms.
Barrier? No, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember
like
what
his
it is.
their domain or whatever.
Their domains. Their domain expansions.
Sure, yeah, their domain expansions. I like the first one. Like that's before the main antagonist is introduced, and you kind of get the sense of like what it's about. It's a 2-part episode. It's
the stairs one you're talking about.
Yeah. Sasaki stairs or whatever it's called. You get like
even
the
names are Monogatari.
That's very Monogatari-esque. Yeah, like there was like the Hall of Mirrors, which was very like.
Yeah. You get like a nice little story arc. You get like there's like some sadness involved in that mini antagonist's backstory. You feel bad for them a little bit. I think the story is well written. I would agree. Yeah, maybe you'd want to see some more animation, but I think the direction is well done. I would give it. I would let that arc at least play out. I think that's like episode 4. I think that's
3 episodes. Yeah.
That's what I would say. So we all
I'd say the 5 or 6 for sure. But like that's half the show, so I feel dumb saying that a little bit.
Yeah, I know, because it's like, but the show gets good.
Yeah,
after
I know.
that.
It's very tough.
Weird.
It's very tough because like a part of you is like, after episode 3, like just give it 2 more episodes. But like, at the same time, I don't know if it adds enough to the show to be able to be like, stay for the rest of the ride.
You know what? I think if you're digging the art style enough after 3 episodes, I think that maybe the 3 episodes is like the initial trial. And if you're like on the fence at that point, give it 2 more.
Yeah.
But like if at that point you're like super not into it at all, you're probably safe to drop.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would say too.
What about the like voice acting? Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I mean, of course, we gotta give a shout out to the legend herself, Megumi Ogata. She played Shinji Ikari, of course, and she plays Hanako-kun and another character. I like the voice acting in this show. Nene is good as well. I like Sakura. She's kind of the mysterious green-haired girl.
His girlfriend.
Yeah, you know what? She was really cool. Like she was a cool character the whole way through.
Yes, she was a cool character.
Interesting you say that, Cole. I thought Nene's voice particularly was a standout to me. Like I thought that her voice really fit the character, and I thought that she did a really good job with
I love her little English voices in it. Like there's this one point in episode 1 where it does what Jay didn't like the panel thing, and it just says no, and she says no.
Yeah.
Sorry. We should ask the infamous question. Sub or dub, Michael?
This one, I did the usual. I partook in both just to see. And I could not get through watching it in the dub. I don't know. It just did. I just had to switch over to sub because the dub just didn't do it for me. I think part of it is I have a hard time watching like very young children in dub because like I can tell that they're adults easier.
Yeah.
Whereas in the sub, I can hide the fact that they're adults a little better. And that's, And honestly, the voice acting was kind of a little better too. Like Nene's voice in particular. But the one that really stood out to me in both sub and dub for opposite reasons was Ko. Okay. I thought the voice actor in the sub for Ko did really good. And the voice actor for Ko in the dub just kind of didn't land it. The
voice actor for Ko probably had to give the most range.
Yeah,
he had some like heavy
job.
scenes. Yeah, he had some heavy scenes. So props to hold on. Props to Shoya Chiba. Well done.
Yes.
Well done. The voice acting was good, spot on. I only watched the the sub of this one. I didn't switch back and forth.
Yeah.
You don't need to. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, if that's Mike saying that, the dub's probably not the best.
It just kind of wasn't it. I don't know what to say about it. One thing I did enjoy too about like in the voice acting is every time the school, I think it was the green haired girl who was doing the rumor announcements over the school intercom.
Yeah.
I thought those were really cool because it like kind of did like this like cool AM radio, like all crackly. I know Cole's eyes lit up because he heard AM radio, like the 70-year-old farmer he is.
Like our openings, like our cold opens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They stole my bit.
It was a good bit though, but they made it spookier. It was nice. The way they did it made it super spooky. It really kind of lent to the horror aspect of it.
The vibe,
and like that
absolutely.
weird like otherworldliness of it. Cause like when you think about it, like why would this be playing over the school's intercom?
Yeah.
You know,
let's discuss our school's sordid past.
Yeah. I liked how the show sorry, I was
no.
Jay.
You've already started. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say I really enjoyed it too in this show where how they took the thing where the spirits need people to talk about them and whatever people are saying about them. And I think this is a popular idea in Japanese folklore, but like people give power to spirits. I like that. I like that they were able to basically like use people to change what the spirits are. That's kind of a cool concept to deal with.
Yeah. And they kind of go into that. Like at one point, one of the characters kind of discusses with one of the spirits who was previously brainwashed. And they're like, how did you feel? Like, was it bad for you? And they're like, no, like it just brings out a different aspect of you. So like you're still yourself, but I don't know. It was cool. It was a very cool moment in the show where they're talking to the spirits about being brainwashed or like having to do the bidding of what the people rumors are talking about them as. But at the same time, they're still themselves. It was very cool. Like which came first, the chicken or the egg kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of it's cool to see like that like symbiotic relationship. And you know what? I said it was a Japanese thing, but I think it's just like a
thing,
maybe a spirits thing, just a thing.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's like a spiritual thing. Yeah,
like American Gods by Neil Gaiman kind of does the same thing too, where like they get power. But it's
I don't know, cool. The whole idea of like manifesting, you know?
Yeah, really. Or like Noragami does the same thing too, right? There's it's cool.
Yeah. It's everyone's favorite part though, where we talk about characters and we talk about the best characters.
We kind of talked about them a little bit already. Are you wanting us to give some best boys and girls? Is that what you're saying?
Let's do that. Let's talk about best boys and best girls. Let's start with everyone's whose gender it is in the show. I don't know. The guys. Let's do best boy first. We're all boys, so let's go to best boy. That's what I was trying to say. I'll start. I'm gonna say Ko. Ko's great. I love Ko. He's just a cinnamon roll who thinks he's not a cinnamon roll. He thinks he's so tough, but he's just a little guy.
just a guy.
He's just a little guy with his lightning rod.
Sport.
He'd probably be my pick for best boy too, actually, because I think he gets in the first season at least. I feel like he gets the most character development and probably has the most interesting storyline. With like him being like an exorcist who's kind of like not wanting to exercise anymore, and he's got like pressure from like his family telling him no, like spirits are bad, you're an exorcist, do your job, and he's kind of like, no, I'm not going to, screw you. And then it's just he's like such an interesting character too. I like it. I like him. I like his character,
and I like how he's got like a crush on Nene. It's cute. Yeah,
it's cute. Their interactions are very cute.
It also reflects her crush on his older brother.
Listen, the love quad triangles.
There's a lot of
love going around. I mean, they're all in high school, so I mean, it makes sense.
There's a lot of point where fish love a character.
Yeah,
there's fish love in this. Yeah. Fish princes.
Fish. Yeah, that's true. Fish princess, mermaid princess. There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
Daikon legs. Daikon legs were a very important thing in this show apparently too. But yes, we're talking about boys.
Talking about boys.
Jay.
My best boy, I'm gonna throw a wrench in this operation here because my best boy is whichever moke is a boy. I love the
You just love the moke.
I love the
I like
moke
the
so
moke.
much. They're
They're
adorable.
they're so Ghibli-y, kind of. Like they feel like soot sprites or something like that. Or in, what were they called in Boys in the Heron? The little spirits.
Oh, yeah, the spirits. Or, I mean, Princess Mononoke, the tree spirits as well.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to Sosuke Mitsuba as well. Like, he's great.
Fantastic.
I love how vain he is, but at the same time, he's very, I don't know, he's just a sweet boy who likes his friends. He just wants friends.
Yeah. I liked that arc a lot too, like the thing with the camera or whatever. I feel like you can't help but shout out Hanako and Tsukasa too. Like great characters.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Hanako, he's the titular Hanako-kun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just got he's got enough depth to him that he's interesting. I thought about putting him as my best boy, but my heart says that it's Ko.
Yeah, Ko is.
Yeah.
I like his vibe though. He's kind of like a little sad boy. You're kind of learning about him. The mystery deepens constantly. He clearly likes Nene, and he's just kind of like a lonely boy at his heart too. And it's sweet. A lot of the show is very sweet.
He likes the Apollo stuff. He liked the moon. And
the
I mean,
moon
of course,
stuff,
of course. I mean, I identify with that.
Yeah,
that's just
Are
cool.
you moving him to your best boy now because he's Moon Man?
No, I'm going with Ko. Ko is still. He's just a sweetheart.
He's good. Yeah.
But best girl, I think. I mean, you guys know me. I like the I like the goth girls, let's say. I'm going with Sakura. I'm going with Sakura. She's got a great radio voice. And she's got short hair. Let's go with her.
She's got a voice for radio.
She's got a voice for radio, and but she doesn't have a face for it. I like her. I like how she's kind of like a reluctant villain. I like that.
Yeah. No, honestly, she's definitely stood out for me as like a very interesting character that like I feel like I want to know more. I want to know what's going on.
I wanted more
there.
of her. Yeah, I wanted more of her for sure.
I suspect we are going to get because she seems like she's setting up. Oh, by the way, I'm changing my best boy.
Okay.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
I was scrolling down the character page and then I realized who my best boy truly is. It's actually Tsuchigamori.
Well, I mean, of course, he's played by Kenjiro Tsuda. Is that how you say his last name?
Yes, Nanami, I think. From
one of the
Jujutsu
best.
Kaisen.
One of the best male seiyuu. He's got his voice.
He's so good. And
I am
like
a mostly straight person, and man, that voice.
No,
man.
for real. Yeah. I'm changing it to him because he's a fantastic character too, and he also like drives a little bit of the discovery about Hanako-kun. And what later on they talk about like there's like spoiler stuff I don't want to talk about right now, but like he is such an interesting character, and the revelations that come out about him and Hanako definitely like make him even more interesting too. And he's kind of like always looking out for people.
I thought that was probably the most interesting stuff about the show for me, was learning about him and Hanako and like their past and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Back to best girl. Sorry. I had to change that. Yes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Checks
I'm
out.
not changing my best girl. Green hair.
No, Sakura.
Yeah. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the fact that her name's Sakura and her hair is green, not pink. I mean, that's unique.
Yeah.
That's unique. That is unique.
Mike, who's your best girl?
My best girl. This is a tough one. I didn't really like Nene that much. I just didn't really vibe with her. And then I think the only other girl is Sakura. Am I wrong?
No,
or the mermaid, I guess.
There's Aoi and
Aoi's there
Yako.
too, but yeah. I don't know. This one is kind of like I wish I could go with like a none of the above, but I can't. So I guess I'll go with Sakura as well. Because she's the only one who kind of stood out to me. And like you said, the goth mommy energy.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool, like, kind of has like a little bit of who's your waifu from Scott Pilgrim? Jay, help me.
Ramona Flowers.
A little bit of Ramona Flower energies going on with her. Colorful hair, kind of mean, kind of grumpy. Yeah, I like it.
For me, I mean, I gotta go with Nene. She's a ball of sunshine.
Yeah, Nene's great. I didn't like how Mike dumped on Nene. That was uncalled for.
I found her mildly annoying.
And when we're done recording, I am gonna hop in my car
and beat him up.
I'm gonna beat you. I will beat you.
Okay. You know what? Get over here and try to beat me. Try to beat me off, okay?
What?
What?
No, I like Nene. I like Nene.
Nah, she didn't do it for me. I get why people would like her, but she's just a little too something for me. I don't know. Something about
I don't know.
it.
I think I like all of the characters because they're all a little bit annoying. Like they feel realistic. Like Nene is just super self-conscious. She's just like worried about whatever. Like her greatest fear is that everybody is going to laugh at her daikon legs.
Which is
me for real.
So crazy.
For me, for real. Yeah.
She looks like she's wearing like, what do you call it? Like, you know, those like when girls would wear those like flared out leggings. It just looks like that. That's all it looks like to me.
I just remember that one scene where she's in class and Hanako makes her hair up to be like that tall,
like Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Was nobody watching? Like her hair was just moving on its own.
I find it funny too because like sometimes they'll like have stuff like that happen where like nobody reacts to it, and then sometimes it'll be like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. Oh, she's talking to herself again.
Yeah. I like that side of it too.
Also, for a show called Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, I gotta say, he really is able to leave that toilet quite often.
Yeah, he's not really bound.
Yeah, he's not,
to the toilet.
Not very bound.
No,
not very bound to the toilet. Yeah. And honestly, the toilet barely comes up in this for the most part.
Yeah, I also like his little spirits. Hanako's little spirits.
Yeah, yeah. I forget what he called them though, but yes.
Something Odai.
Yes.
One was blue, one was red. And Aoi. I mean, we didn't talk about Aoi. She's Nene's friend. I liked her. She seemed to like know everything. It's kind of hinted,
she didn't get
and
a lot
I
of
don't
screen time that much, but yeah,
I don't know. Like for all I know, this is a complete throwing the dart. But they mentioned that like there's probably students who are apparitions as well, and I feel like she might be one of them. That's a total.
I sort of got that vibe as well. I think they were maybe talking about Sakura.
Maybe, but I feel like Sakura's just got a contract with somebody else who will come up in the spoiler section. And I like Yako too. I mean, she's a little fox. She bites people. Yeah. I like her too. Pure tsundere. Very soon. Soon tsundere. Is there anything else you guys want to mention before we dive into like the quick spoiler section? We can end our thoughts and give it our ratings.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for my final thoughts and rating, honestly.
Okay. I'll start. I'll start because I feel like I'm going to be more positive about this than you guys are. Not to say that I genuinely don't think you guys disliked it per se. I just think I'm probably the highest on it. I enjoy this. I think if you like shows like Monogatari, you would like this. I genuinely think like it is. I mean, everything's inferior to Monogatari when you compare the two. But it's got great characters. It's got great like design. It's got good music. And it's engaging towards the end once the ball actually gets rolling. Before that, I'd probably rate it like a consider continuing. I'd consider it. But then as the show got on, like I felt my jimmies getting tickled, my jimmies were tickled. It's tickling my jimmies. That's what I would say. Yeah. Mike, what would you say?
That checks out. It's kind of similar to what Cole said. I feel like it started so slow for me where I just really couldn't get into it. I appreciate like the art style and stuff. And I've kind of just said that it's just not for me, that art style and like the way this is done. But I do like appreciate the value of it. At the same time, I'm rating this on like kind of my enjoyment of it. And it just kind of wasn't there for me. Like Cole said, I did get more into it as the show picked up and went on and started kind of actually get rolling. And I kind of don't, I feel like I'm being super negative on it, but I really didn't have that much fun watching this. Even when it did start rolling, I still like this morning I woke up, I had 2 episodes to watch. And I was procrastinating actually watching those 2 episodes. And I'd multiple times would have to like pause and rewind the episode because I had to like because I kind of zoned out and wasn't paying attention anymore. So I just can't give it like a Tickles Jimmy's. I'm considering continuing it to watch the second show, but I think my true rating will end up coming down to the cold hard reality of if I were not doing this for a review on this illustrious AniPro certified podcast, I would have dropped it probably at like episode 3 or 2, or something around there. And that's where I'm going to give it that. If it weren't for the review, I would have dropped it rating. Yeah.
You know what,
Jay?
Mike? I gotta say, this is a very interesting time for the both of us to agree on something, because I'm kind of right there with you, my guy.
I know we've been agreeing this whole episode. It's kind of weird. I'm not used to this.
I'm not used to this. This is weird. But yeah, like, I feel like I get the value in it, and I get why people would like it so much, because it does have a lot going for it. Like, it looks beautiful. But like, I wasn't a fan of the direction. I wasn't a fan of just kind of like that episodic style. I feel like it kind of like tickled the idea of a serialized narrative, and if it ran with that, I would have been more interested. But like, it just didn't really feel like it did enough to hook me off of what it had in the anime. And like, it's really a bummer, because like, I know so many people that love this show.
I know. That's the thing, is I wanted to like it so bad.
Yeah. I think you can probably agree with me, Mike, where like, I was watching the show and I felt like Squidward watching other people having fun and just being so upset, because
you brought that up the other day, and that was what I was thinking as I was watching. I'm like, man, I want to like this. I want to see why people like this so much. And I just kind of, maybe I'm too old. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. Maybe
like,
I'm older than you. Maybe we're both just jaded men. But yeah, if I didn't have to watch this for the review, like, I had a very similar watch experience to you, Mike. Like, I was watching 3 episodes a day, and I would be like, I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'll watch 1 episode, then take a break, then come back and watch another one. Then take another break and then come back and watch the 3rd one, and then I'll wait for the next day. It was not fun. Like, I found myself checking my phone a couple times, like pausing the show, being like, okay, I'm gonna check my phone, do something else, then continuing and just being like, okay, let's get through this. So,
but like, it's not a why for sure, you know, like, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's just.
No, like, I'm not mad at you for suggesting that or for bringing it up, but I probably would have dropped it if I didn't have to watch this for a review.
This is weird.
I know, this is strange. Cole loving the show, and I'm kind of feeling the Squidward element here, where like, I'm kind of like, I wish I got it. I mean, I'm seeing all you Cole and people out there shipping and having fun with this show and loving radish legs over there, but I just
I
feel like I just don't.
I mean, listeners, of course, let us know what you think of the show in the comments, or come to our Discord and let us know as well. This I feel like the post review discussion could potentially be very interesting, because we're so kind of like, we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. Not that I'm saying it's a masterpiece, and not that you guys are saying it's the worst, but like, we're both kind of, we're both on the opposite of ends of this is good.
It's funny though, because I went into this show thinking, oh, I'm going to have to defend my take because both Mike and Cole are going to love it. Because that's like normally how it is like, you both agree on something, and I'm the odd man out, being like,
plants his feet in the ground, and
but like, it's just like, every time I'm in that position, I'm like, I want to like this show so badly, and I just don't I don't feel it. I don't feel the same, and I wish I did.
Well, my new ship is Mike and Jay, but I'm going to it's time for me to reveal.
The term is Jamike is the name of that ship.
I mean, he has been asking for my feet for like months.
That is true.
Or
months.
I mean,
what are we reviewing next?
We're gonna I'm gonna reveal our next review.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any guesses?
It's Gate.
Guesses.
It's Gate.
Mike, do you have any guesses?
I think it's 86.
Okay. Now Jay has a Jay.
Yeah.
My friend Jay.
Yeah.
It's Gate. But I
like how you didn't even want to bother with the teasing of the
yeah,
hints.
he was like, okay,
hey,
you got it. I'm just gonna give it to you.
Now you've watched Gate before. What's it about?
I have watched Gate before. I'll read the synopsis from AniList, but I just want to say Jay has an unfair advantage because I saw it. Neither of you have seen Gate, as according to your AniLists. And I was surprised that Jay hadn't seen it. So I texted him yesterday. I'm like, have you seen Gate? He's like, no.
It's cheating. He's cheating. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. I was trying to like come off as like, I want to talk about Gate.
I did the same thing to you for Go-Go Loser Ranger.
Yeah. We had an initial review plan, but that kind of is unfortunately going by the wayside for now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're going to do Gate. Anyway, the synopsis reads thusly, as according to the source here, Anime News Network. Gate is the military fantasy series begins when a gate appears in Tokyo's Ginza district sometime in the 21st century. From the gate pours out monsters, knights from middle-aged Europe, and other fantasy-like beings, and they kill many of the citizens of Tokyo. This event is known as the Ginza Incident. Very dramatic. The government sends a small group of soldiers from the Japanese Self-Defense Force, which is a replacement for Japan's military. Yeah, we all know that. To the alternate world beyond the gate, led by otaku soldier Yuji. They find that the villages of the world are being attacked by a dragon. An elf girl who is a survivor from the dragon's rampage joins the group and travel across. Okay, that's it's a reverse isekai.
Yeah.
It's a reverse isekai.
Cool.
It's I'm looking forward to watching this. And I'm surprised that neither of you have watched it.
I'm kind of surprised I haven't either. It's rated 74 out of 100 on AniList too. And it has a character named Pina Colada, which is very fun and interesting, and I'm excited to find out what they're all about.
Yeah, I had the show recommended to me back when I was like into SAO, like when I first got into anime. Because they were like, "Oh, you like SAO? You should check out Gate." And I was like, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll do that." And then I just never got around to it.
I'm surprised Jay hasn't watched it.
That I'm surprised
involved. There's elves involved.
Yeah, we all know who
recommendations on AniList are Saga of Tanya the Evil, No Game No Life, Sword Art Online, Plunderer. So yeah, it's right in that wheelhouse for sure.
Yeah. So look forward to that in the next few weeks. But for now, let's just drop this drop.
If you need me to do it, I'll do it.
Can you do it?
Yeah.
I heard one click.
It's time for spoilers.
Could you guys hear that, or was that just in my ears?
No, I could hear it.
I heard that.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. We're in the spoiler section. We're going to talk spoilers about this show that we're reviewing. So this is your final warning. If you don't want to be spoiled, please go watch the show and then come back. The elephant in the room is our main villain. Mike did a name drop of him. Tsukasa is Hanako-kun's brother, who Hanako-kun murdered with a knife.
They don't say how is one of the things.
Well, I mean, it's with the knife. We know that it's with the knife. That's why he uses a knife.
We assume, at least, yeah.
But it seems like, I mean, like the vibes I get is it's like Hanako-kun regrets it, so it might be like I had to kill him for some reason. So we learn later on why, but in the show we don't know why. And Tsukasa is a very interesting character because he's so goofy and kind of carefree, but at the same time just terrifying because he's strong.
For sure the scariest character in the show, I would say.
And I love that he's the twin brother of Hanako. And like just he kind of gives off that like he's the exact foil for Hanako. Like like where Hanako zigs, Tsukasa zags.
And to be clear, like I don't know stuff about this manga, so this could be like, I don't know if this is spoilers or not. I just get the vibe that it's going to come out at some point that like maybe Tsukasa actually isn't his brother or something. Like it just feels like him being his younger brother. There's something about that doesn't feel right to me. And
They're twins.
I think that's going to be. He says younger brother at one point.
Younger twin.
Yeah.
Oh,
twins.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels off to me that I don't know that he's maybe actually a real brother. I wonder if he's like maybe like a split off of his personality or something that he killed. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could see it going down that road.
I could see that. But it's definitely engaging. He's definitely an engaging plot point in the show.
Like his stuff when he first gets revealed and he's like you're like, what the heck's going on here? Who's this bad guy? And then he like, yeah, it's super cool. Or like when he's like kind of torturing Sosuke there or whatever. That's really where I thought he was most freaky for sure.
It's a very who is that kid in Jujutsu Kaisen?
I know who you're talking about. Like Yuji's friend there.
Yeah.
They put him in the OP and you thought he was going to be part of the show, and then they killed him at the end of the episode.
He's not. He's not in the show. He's not.
Tragic. Yeah.
Definitely got those vibes from it.
Yeah.
And Sasuke coming back is like kind of just a split off of Sasuke prior to his death. Like it's all cool stuff in the show.
For sure.
Very unique how it's kind of written like that, I guess. So in that sense, I kind of see where Mike's coming from. Like they discuss splitting off of different personalities or removing aspects to create a new being. So I can see
there's lots of cool ideas for sure.
Yeah.
I could see the idea of Tsukasa being a split off personality of Hanako-kun. That being said, I do think it's his brother. I do.
Yeah.
Think that. Yeah.
That's kind of Occam's razor, right? The most obvious thing is probably true. I just get this feeling. It's just a gut feeling that it's going to end up. He's like, a split off of his personality or something. Like he's the dark side of Hanako that he split off or something. I don't know. But what other spoilers you guys want to talk about?
I liked Hanako's backstory. Just like that whole thing with the teacher, where you see him like talking about dying, and like that whole thing about the teacher being like, I've only ever seen one person change their future, and it was Hanako, and it was because like he saw that Hanako was supposed to be a teacher at this school, but he didn't because he died. I thought that whole thing was interesting. And then that's where you learn his name, Yugi.
Yeah.
Or Amane. Amane Yugi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like mysteries that aren't really told by the end of the show. Like how does Hanako-kun die? Why is he kind of like beat up all the time prior to him dying?
There's a lot to.
Yeah.
I feel like from the hype that I saw when season 2 got announced, I feel like season 2 answers at least some of, or maybe a good portion of these. And maybe it ended too soon. It kind of left off at a weird point.
Yeah. I have a sneaking suspicion that season 2 will probably be a lot darker than season 1 was.
Excellent. I can't wait.
Excellent. Good.
Good. Yes. Let them suffer in their misery.
I am interested in the manga of this as well too. I
might check out the manga too.
I might check it out. I might start reading it. Are there any other spoilers you guys want to talk about, or should we just wrap this episode up in a nice
I feel
bow?
like so far it's pretty light on spoilers for the most part, this show, because kind of like we were talking about, it asks a lot of questions and puts a lot of questions out there, but it doesn't give you a lot of answers generally.
Yeah,
there's really not much to spoil.
There's big spoilers, but there's not many spoilers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the biggest one would be like Sosuke dying right away, kind of thing.
Sosuke dying, and Mitsuba being, or not Mitsuba. Sorry, Tsubasa being Hanako-kun's
or
twin brother.
Hanako's backstory altogether.
Yeah.
His
Why
name,
does he like donuts so much?
Yeah. I mean, that's the
Really
biggest
likes
mystery
donuts.
of the entire series.
That is the biggest mystery.
there was a lot of plot point devoted to Hanako and donuts, so I see why there's a ship for that.
Yeah. How does he eat donuts, by the way? He's a
What's
ghost.
the
How does he
better
even eat them too?
What's the better ship? Hanako and donuts or Luffy and meat?
Let us know in the
Luffy
comments
and me,
below.
for sure. Yeah,
Let us know in the
comment
comments
that
below.
answer.
Let us
What
know
was
in
the
the comments.
what would you guys think was like the weakest arc of the show?
The weakest arc
I feel
of
like
the show?
I really didn't enjoy the mermaid when they were trying to like convert her to being a princess. That part
like
really
the
did
last
not
one.
do
feel like-
anything for me.
Yeah, I feel like that was like, okay, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
It's the last thing we got to do. Nene's got to choose to stay with Hanako. And
Yeah.
But it just kind of all fell kind of flat. I don't know.
It felt flat for sure.
I think a lot
I
of
thought it was
also-
funny. Like I like the gags in that one. Just her like almost choosing to become a fish just so she could be popular.
Yeah. And have a harem of like hot mermaid guys.
But they
I
were
think-
like they were just fish.
Then she realized they were just straight up fish.
Yeah.
But then she almost picked it. She still
know.
almost picked to just
I
be
think
a
She was gonna be
fish.
popular.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that like the bulk of it doesn't really do a good job of building up to that moment where she chooses to stay with him. Because like
That's maybe a good take, actually. Yeah.
the payoff, like it just
I think it was. I wouldn't be surprised if that is an anime only story.
I
Or,
think
like,
it
they
is
left
in the
out parts
manga,
of it,
but
maybe.
like, I
It
think
just
like,
felt like it was like, okay, we need to wrap it up by her choosing to stay with Hanako.
Yeah.
Man, I drink every time I say that name in a different way.
I think I think it's just like recontextualizing that that chapter
Right.
is what
Yeah, I think we're saying the same thing.
I think the wells run dry on the spoilies though.
Yeah.
The well has run dry on the spoilers and on my drink. So let's
But not my bladder, I'll tell you that much.
If you do want to check out this show, it is available on Crunchyroll. So give it a watch.
Watch
I
the
guess
sub.
say where things are watchable.
Watch the sub.
Watch the sub is our official recommendation.
And if you want to read the manga, Yen Press is publishing it, so you can also read that.
And of
for what
course,
it's worth, the manga is highly acclaimed. Yeah.
Let us know what you think of Hanako-kun, Toilet Pound Hanako-kun.
Comment if you're watching on YouTube.
But for now, that's it for this week. We will be back next week. You can follow us everywhere at AniProPod. Leave a like, review, subscribe, give us 5 stars, tell a friend about us. And of course, come to our Discord. We got watch parties over there. We got different games, chats, etc. Links to everything is at our website, AniProPod.com. We also would be very much appreciative of you if you could support us on Patreon if you have the means and the desire and just the big heart to do that. You get an early episode, you get a bonus episode every month, you get an extra vote, special chat, priority mailbag. You also get your name read at the end of every episode, like these wonderful people: Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Braindead B Dog, Super Mexi, Peach, Frama, Crawtoast, and Just Juzz. Thank you all for supporting this podcast. My co-hosts want me to throw it to them, and I want them to just wrap up this episode so nicely. You know what? No, this time, Michael, you do it.
Well, as we do say at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, Cole, you didn't think I'd do it, did you?
I didn't think
Bye-bye.
you'd do it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.